Salut my little baguettes, welcome to l'Académie Équilibre, and today we're doing les expressions négatives. I was asked to make a video on this, and so here it is. Let's get started. So as the name suggests, we're talking about making something into negative, right? And we already know how to make affirmative sentences into negative. That is, in French, we put ne before the verb and pas after it, right? This is the most basic form of negation. In case you're not clear on that and the rules related to it, I would suggest you watch this. The link is in the description box. Alright? So if I have this sentence, je vais à l'école, that is, I go to school, it is an affirmative sentence or a positive one. Now, in order to say I don't go to the school, I will identify my verb, that is vais, aller, to go, and put ne before it and pas after it. This is the most basic form. But then there are certain expressions in French or even in English that we can use to make a sentence into negative. For example, so I have this sentence, he is always at the park. Now there are two ways to make this into negative. First one, he is not at the park. And the second one is, he is never at the park. Alright, now in the first sentence, I've done the most basic form, that is, I added not and I got a negative sentence, right? In the other one, you would see, I made always into never. Okay, and the second sentence is more appropriate. Why? Because the meaning is more or less the same, right? It is the opposite. That is, he is always at the park. The opposite would be, he is never at the park. Okay, this is nothing but your negative expression. The first one is really simple and the second one is more advanced and is telling you the actual meaning. Okay, so always becomes never. Or there are other words, for instance, something becomes nothing, someone becomes no one, everywhere, nowhere. So this is nothing but your negative expressions. These words are what we call les expressions négatives. And we're going to do some of these in French now. So I'll take the same pair, that is, in French, always is toujours. We can also take words like souvent, that is often, or parfois, that is sometimes, or even quelquefois, again sometimes. Okay, what would be the opposite of it? That is never. And in French, that is jamais. So in a way, you can say these words are like counterparts, right? Like opposites. So if you see toujours in a sentence, it would become jamais. Or even souvent, parfois, quelquefois, all of that becomes jamais when you make your sentence into negative. Okay, this is your word, but this is not your full expression. What will be the actual formation? Like we do ne plus verb plus pas, the formation is ne plus verb plus jamais. I'll make it clear with an example. I have a sentence. Elle est toujours au bureau. That is, she is always at the office. Now I've identified I have this word toujours in my sentence and it's part of a pair, that is jamais. Here, instead of toujours, I replace it with jamais and my total formation is ne plus verb plus jamais. So my verb is est, a, n apostrophe, est, jamais, and then rest of the sentence as in au bureau. She is never at the office. Okay? This is exactly how we're going to do the rest of the expressions. It is basically the same thing. Okay? You'll just have to remember the pairs. Pairs as in, if it is souvent, it will always go with jamais. Okay? Parfois, again, jamais. Toujours, jamais. So the next one is déjà. This means already. Okay, like even in English, we've heard this expression called déjà vu. That is already seen, something that you feel like you've already seen. Okay, so it comes from French and there déjà means already. Now what is the opposite in English? Already is not yet. And there in French you get pas encore. Wherein pas means not and encore means yet. You put it together, you get not yet. Okay, and what is the expression? It is ne plus verb plus pas encore. Again, if I have this sentence, Sophie est déjà dans la classe. First thing I'll do is identify what is the word, déjà. What is its counterpart? Pas encore. That means I will replace it with that. Now what is my verb? Est, a. I'll put ne before it. Sophie n'est pas encore dans la classe. Sophie is still in the class. Sophie is not yet in the class. Alright? Now a third expression is quelque part or partout. Okay, quelque part means somewhere, partout means everywhere. And what does it become? It is nowhere, right? Which in French is nulle part. And your expression is ne plus verb plus nulle part. Now I have this sentence, nous voyagions partout. We travel everywhere. Okay, so I've identified that partout is there. That means I'll make it into nulle part by using this expression. So I get this, that is, nous ne voyagions nulle part. We travel nowhere. Then for a third expression, we have quelque chose. Chose is your thing, quelque chose, something. Something becomes nothing. And in French, that is rien. So you get the expression ne plus verb plus rien. For example, il y a quelque chose dans mon sac. Now I see quelque chose, right? I'll have to make it into rien. And my verb is a as in avoir, to have. But here, be careful, we put ne before y. Okay, and y is treated as a vowel, so you get an apostrophe. Il n'y a rien dans mon sac. As in, there's nothing in my bag. Now, there's one more way where rien is used, that is, when it is the subject of the sentence. What do I mean by that? Here, it was the objet, as in the object. But if we're replacing something in the subject, that is, if I had the sentence quelque chose brille dans la boîte. Now, so far, all the expressions we've done, the word comes after the verb, right? Quelque chose or partout or whatever expressions we've done, deja, it all comes after the verb. But what if the sentence starts with it, right? Then what do we do? Now this happens with expressions like rien. So for instance, something is shining in the box, right? How will I say it in English? Nothing is shining in the box, right? That is, if your sentence starts with this, the negative will also start with it. So if my subject is being replaced, what is my format? Rien plus ne plus verb. Alright, so this becomes rien ne brille dans la boîte. It's pretty simple. This is a normal way of doing it, right? We're already clear on that. Here, this happens if your positive sentence starts with quelque chose. Okay? Another thing that is here in it is that it can also be tout. When we're talking about all the things, right? For instance, so I've got je comprends tout. Here students get confused. Why? Because it is just tout. Okay, here two stands for everything, right? When you say I understand everything, okay, that will become, the negative will be I don't understand anything or I understand nothing. Okay, so here the two will become rien, as in je ne comprends rien. Basically our situation one day before exam, je ne comprends rien, I don't understand anything. Okay, so here tout will also become rien because we're talking about a thing. You don't understand a thing. Okay, same way if it is in the subject, tout est arrivé très vite. Okay, that is, we're talking about everything happened very quickly. Okay, now don't worry, this is passé composé, but it's pretty simple. That is, we're supposed to do negation with the verb. We do it with the first verb. Okay, so here we're replacing tout. Okay, that is everything. Okay, so here it will become rien. You put n apostrophe est, arrivé très vite. As in, nothing happened very quickly. So in both situations, when I used tout, I was talking about everything. Alright? Now our next expression is with quelqu'un en. So we have quelqu'un and tout le monde. That is, quelque, we know by now that quelque means some, and un is one, as in the counting 1, 2, 3. So some, one. Or tout le monde is everyone. So here we're talking about people. Okay, be very clear, tout le monde is one thing together. Alright, as in everyone. So don't get confused with this too. Okay, because this is about a thing, but when you put le monde after it, it is 100% talking about people. Okay, so it is one thing together. So someone or everyone becomes no one, as in personne. And your expression here also, there are two ways, right? It can either be you're replacing the subject or the object. Object, we know it is pretty simple, ne plus verb plus personne. And to replace the subject, we'll use the same format that we used with rien. That is, the sentence will start with personne and then ne plus verb. We'll understand through an example. Okay, so here are some sentences with it that will try to make it into negative. I see quelqu'un, someone, it will become no one. Okay, my verb is voir, voir, to see. So ne will go before it and personne after it. So I get je ne vois personne dans la classe. In next sentence, again I identify the word, that is tout le monde. What is the pair? Personne. So I get il ne connaît personne. He knows no one. Now this was the replacing the object thing. Now we come to replacing the subject. That is, here the sentence starts with quelqu'un or tout le monde. That means in negative also it will start like that. So quelqu'un is personne. Personne n'est dans la maison. No one is in the house. And same way, tout le monde est d'accord avec cette décision. Everyone is okay with this decision. No one is okay with this decision. So here again, tout le monde, we're talking about people. So this is how we replace the subject while making the sentence into negative. Fine? Now we come to our next expression, that is encore becomes plus. Now here's the thing, don't confuse it with the pas encore that we did before. So here the second expression, déjà and pas encore are your expression, where déjà is the positive word and pas encore is your negative expression. Okay, why is it negative? Because you added pas before it. If pas is not before it, then encore in itself is a positive word and means yet or even still. That is, something is yet to happen or is still happening. What would be the opposite? Something is no longer happening. Okay, that is plus. So if it is just encore, it is a positive word. If you put pas before it, then it becomes negative and it is part of a déjà pair. Alright, here it is part of the plus pair and here it is positive. Okay, so don't confuse it, don't mix up those two expressions. So if I have this sentence, nous sommes encore à l'école. That is, we are still at the school. The opposite would be, we are no longer at the school. Which means, ne before sommes and encore becomes plus. So you get, nous ne sommes plus à l'école. That is, we are no longer at the school, we are not at the school anymore. You can also say not anymore. Then our seventh expression is, either or becomes neither nor. Now again, this is pretty important because it is done just a little differently. So if you have et in your sentence, that is and, or if you have ou in your sentence, which means or, basically you're giving a choice that you can have both or you can have one. These are the two ways sentence can be given to you. That is you'll have an adjective given in both blanks or you will have a noun. Now what does this mean? It is pretty simple. That is, he is smart and hardworking. Okay, those are two adjectives. You're describing him. Alright, so you're saying both, that is smart and hardworking. Or you can give a choice between two adjectives, that is, he is sleepy or sad. Okay, again you're talking about one thing, either or. Or you can have noun, right? Anything, any object, right? I want the pen and the pencil. Or I want the pen or the pencil. Okay, so when this either of this format is given to you, you'll make it neither nor in negative, right? And in French, that is ni. If one of them is given in your sentence and a choice is being given between two things, then you'll use ni in the negative format. That is neither smart nor hardworking, neither sad nor upset. Now the thing here is, where does ni go? Okay, generally where do we place our negative words? It goes after the verb. Okay, you'll find it everywhere. That is, your negative word always goes after the verb. But where does ni go? Here, your expression is na plus verb plus, you'll see I put dot dot. That is, it depends where it will go. Okay, when you're talking about two things, the first ni will go before the first thing that you're talking about. Okay, and your second ni will go before the second thing that you're talking about. It can be anything, right? It can be a food item, right? Neither chocolate nor cake, right? Neither pen nor pencil. Neither smart nor beautiful. Okay, so both your knees will go before whatever object, adjective, noun you're talking about. I'll give you an example. So I have je veux le stylo et la gomme. Now most people, they get confused. They're like, there's no expression in it. How will I make it into positive? But here the et is telling you that we're talking about a choice between the pen and the eraser, and you'll make it into neither nor. You will use ni here. So no will go before verb, that is I don't want. Now here you've identified the two things that we're talking about, that is stylo and gomme. So first ni will go before stylo, second ni before the gum. And I've removed the et because that is what we're replacing with ni and ni. So je ne veux ni le stylo ni la gomme. That is, I neither want the pen nor the eraser. Now another small but important detail is when we're talking about food items. That is, we know we use article partitif before it. Why am I telling you this? Because we remove this article partitif and we make the sentence into negative. How is that? So if I have my sentence, je mange du poulet ou de la salade. So here you'll see ou is my word. Okay, that means I will use the expression ni. Okay, and mange is my verb. I'll put ne before it. Now here the important thing is that you will cut off this du and de la. When you're making the sentence into negative, you'll remove it completely. And where will my ni go? Before the two things that I'm giving a choice between. So neither nor salad. Now you'll see in the first example, article défini, that is le and la, they will stay. But if it is article partitif, you will remove it. I know it is a small detail, but it might cost you your marks. So you want to be 100% correct. No room for silly mistakes. Now the expression where most mistakes are made is aucun. Okay, because here there are few things to keep in mind when you're doing it. So eighth one is when you have quelque, that is some, or tout, or plusieurs, that is some, all, or many. It will become aucun in negative, or aucune. Now here the very important thing to keep in mind is that after these you will have a noun. Okay, that is here talking about a noun. For example, that is, he told her some stories. He didn't tell her any story. Okay, that is, it becomes any. So in negative it is not any or none. Now don't get confused. I know you have tout and quelque and other expressions as well. But there you'll always have a verb after it. Okay, so if tout is there, we're talking about something, your verb will be there. So in most cases when we're talking about all things, okay, then your verb will be there. If we're talking about all people, then tout le monde goes together. Okay, and again verb will be there after it, like est or whatever verb it is. Here when aucun is used, after your tout or quelque, a noun will be given to you. So that means in other cases, after the tout or quelque, you will have a verb. Only with aucun, okay, you'll have a noun and you're going to make it into this. Now the question is, why have I put e here in the bracket? That is, if your noun is feminine, okay, then when you're making the sentence into negative, you'll write aucune. Okay, and if you're talking about masculine noun, then it will be aucun. Now here's the thing, whenever you're making it into negative, when we use aucun with a noun that is not any or none, your noun will always be singular. There is no chance of it being plural. Alright, because when we say none or not any, it is always singular. You're talking about it is not there at all. So it cannot be plural. So even if in your positive sentence it is given as plural, your noun, it will become singular. Alright, now your expression is ne plus verb plus aucun or aucune. So I'll give you an example. So here, elle a quelques idées. That is, quelque is there, some, and just after it, you'll find a noun. Okay, that is, she has some ideas. Now, even when I make it negative in English, I will say, she has no idea. I won't say she has no ideas, right? It will be no idea. So your noun will always be singular. So here I get elle, na. Now here I'm replacing quelque with aucun, and because my idée is feminine, I'll put an extra e over here and I'll make idée into singular. Okay, because when I say I don't have an idea, I don't have it at all. And what have we just done here? We've done accordance on the basis of your noun. Now here, tooth is given to me, right? All, and all what? All noun, right? Porte is your door, doors, and it is a noun. So immediately after tooth or whatever form we have, right? T-O-U-T, right? Any of these four, and you have a noun, you'll use aucun. Okay, now here it is in the subject, right? That is, if your positive word is in the subject, in negative also it will start like that. So aucun or aucune plus ne plus verb. That is, here les portes, it is feminine, so I'll use aucune. Now here the ne will go before the verb, right? And with aucun we know that the verb doesn't come immediately after it. Okay, that is for all other expressions, right? So here my verb is sont, that means ne should come before sont. And whatever is between them, that is les portes, the doors. In negative, when you're using not any, you make the noun into singular because none of them, right? So aucune porte. Another little change, that is we need complete accordance in the sentence, right? If one thing is singular, rest of it will also be singular. That is, we were describing the doors. The doors are open. So, no door is open. So, sans will also become est. As in, what do I get as my final sentence? No door is open. Okay, we do it in English, we do it in French. Okay, that is the basic of it. Now we have another really important topic, that is how do we use all of these negative expressions that we've done with passé composé. Why am I telling you this? Because passé composé has two verbs, we know that. The formation is avoir or être plus your past participle. Now obviously the question is with which verb does the expression go? So that is first come first serve basis, that is avoir or être. You will do it with avoir or être, whatever is given in your sentence. That is ne plus avoir or être, whatever it is, plus whatever expression you have, right? Pas encore, jamais, rien, and then your past participle. I'll give you an example. So here I have two verbs, j'ai déjà fait mon travail, avoir and fait. That is your past participle. So I'll make it into negative. Je n'ai déjà becomes pas encore, and then your past participle and mon travail. Same way, quelque chose est tombé dans mon sac. This is also passé composé with être. Here, quelque chose, that is something, will become nothing as in rien. So if I'm replacing the subject, rien n'est, this is what I get. So whatever expression it is, ne before avoir or être, and pas encore, jamais, rien, plus will come after it, and then your past participle goes. Okay, but then there is an exception there. That is, some expressions are exceptions. Now I'll give you an acronym to remember it. That is PAN. As in P is for personne, A is for aucun or aucune, N is for ni, and last N is for nulle part. What does it mean they're exceptions? That means they will come after the past participle. As in, what is my formation? Subject, whatever person is doing the action. Okay, plus ne as it is before avoir or être. Like we had in this one, right? Ne before avoir or être. But here the difference is the expressions came just after avoir or être. That is for all the expressions except PAN exceptions, where your past participle will come, then your expression will come. That is nulle part or personne. So for instance, I have this sentence. Je vis quelqu'un dans la chambre. I saw someone in the room. Now here, a view, that is passé composé. Okay, this is your verb, voir, to see. It is an exception, so it becomes view. I saw someone in the room. Now I know quelqu'un in French, its counterpart is personne. Okay, that is a pair. So here I write je, that N apostrophe AI. Now my expression, that is personne, will come after the past participle. That is, je n'ai vu personne dans la chambre. That is, this is done only with these four exceptions, right? And the rest of them are done like this. Alright, so this was our little rule. I hope the entire negative expressions is clear to you. Right, I would suggest making a table, right? Pause the video, alright, and make a table where one column is about the positive ones, positive words, and the second column is about the negative words that gets converted into. What are all your negative expressions? What are the pairs? And basically the counterparts, the opposites, right? If you have any doubt, you can comment it down below. Thank you.